There are several reasons why ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, receptacle might trip when you manually press the test button, but not when using a GFCI tester. Firstly, tester sensitivity might be the issue. GFCI testers vary in their sensitivity. The tester being used might not be sensitive enough to detect the small current leakage required to trip the GFCI. Trying a different tester with higher sensitivity can help determine if this is the problem. Secondly, receptacle sensitivity can also be a factor. GFCI receptacles themselves also vary in their sensitivity. Some receptacles may be less sensitive and require a higher current leakage to trip. Again, trying a different receptacle known to be more sensitive can help isolate the issue. Thirdly, a proper ground connection is crucial for GFCIs to function correctly. The GFCI relies on a good ground to detect current leakage. Ensuring that the receptacle is properly grounded and that the tester's ground prong is making good contact is essential. Check the ground wire connection in the electrical box and at the receptacle. Fourthly, the receptacle itself might be damaged. If the receptacle is damaged or faulty, it may not trip properly. Inspecting the receptacle for any visible damage, such as cracks or burns or loose connections, is crucial. If damage is found, replacing the receptacle is necessary. Fifthly, in some cases, the neutral and line wires may be reversed in the receptacle. This wiring error can prevent the GFCI from detecting current leakage accurately. Ensuring that the neutral wire is connected to the white or silver colored terminal and the line wire is connected to the brass terminal is important. Using a multimeter to verify the voltage between the line and neutral wires can confirm proper wiring. Finally, the tester itself may be faulty. The tester could be providing inaccurate readings or not generating enough current to trip the GFCI. Trying a known good tester or borrowing one to eliminate the possibility of a faulty tester is recommended. To elaborate on tester sensitivity, it's important to understand how GFCI testers work. They simulate a ground fault by creating a small current imbalance between the hot and neutral wires. This imbalance should cause the GFCI to trip, interrupting the circuit and preventing potential electrical shock. However, if the tester doesn't introduce enough current, or if the GFCI requires a higher current threshold to trip, the test will fail. Testers are designed to trip a GFCI within a specific current range, typically between 4 mA and 6 mA. If the tester operates outside this range, it may not accurately assess the GFCI's functionality. When considering receptacle sensitivity, remember that GFCIs are designed to trip when they detect a current leakage of 5 mA or more. This is a safety threshold intended to protect people from electric shock. However, manufacturing tolerances and aging can affect the actual tripping point of a GFCI. Some GFCIs might trip at slightly lower currents, while others might require slightly higher currents. This variation in sensitivity can explain why one GFCI trips with a particular tester, while another doesn't. Regarding grounding issues, it's crucial to understand the role of grounding in electrical safety. The ground wire provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which in turn trips the circuit breaker or GFCI. If the ground connection is poor or non-existent, the fault current may not be sufficient to activate the GFCI. This can create a dangerous situation where a person could receive an electric shock. When checking the ground connection, ensure that the ground wire is securely connected to the metal electrical box, the receptacle's ground terminal, and the main ground bus in the electrical panel. Corrosion or loose connections can compromise the ground path. Addressing damaged receptacles involves a thorough visual inspection. Look for any signs of physical damage, such as cracks, chips, or burns. Also, check for loose wires or terminals. If the receptacle shows any of these signs, it should be replaced immediately. A damaged receptacle can pose a serious electrical hazard. When dealing with reverse neutral and line wires, it's essential to exercise extreme caution. Working with energized circuits can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to call a qualified electrician. Before checking the wiring, turn off the power to the circuit at the breaker panel. Then use a non-contact voltage tester to verify that the circuit is de-energized. Once you are sure the circuit is off, carefully remove the receptacle from the electrical box and inspect the wiring connections. The neutral wire should be connected to the silver or white terminal, and the line wire should be connected to the brass or black terminal. If the wires are reversed, carefully disconnect them and reconnect them in the correct order. To further clarify the function of a GFCI, it constantly monitors the current flowing through the hot and neutral wires. In a properly functioning circuit, the current flowing through these wires should be equal. However, if some of the current leaks to ground, such as when a person touches a live wire, the GFCI detects this imbalance and trips, quickly cutting off the power and preventing a potentially fatal shock. The GFCI does not protect against overloads or short circuits, which are handled by circuit breakers. The GFCI's primary purpose is to protect people from electric shock due to ground faults. Understanding the different types of GFCI testers can also be helpful. There are simple plug-in testers that simulate a ground fault and more sophisticated testers that can measure the tripping current and response time of the GFCI. The more advanced testers can provide a more accurate assessment of the GFCI's performance. When using a GFCI tester, always follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Ensure that the tester is properly grounded and that the circuit is not overloaded. If the tester repeatedly fails to trip the GFCI, even after trying different testers and receptacles, it's likely that there is a more serious problem with the wiring or the GFCI itself. In such cases, it's best to call a qualified electrician to investigate the issue. Remember that GFCIs are an important safety device that can protect you and your family from electric shock. Regularly testing your GFCIs is essential to ensure that they are functioning properly. If you encounter any problems with your GFCIs, don't hesitate to seek professional help. The importance of regular GFCI testing cannot be overstated. The Electrical Safety Foundation International recommends testing GFCIs monthly. This simple test can ensure that the GFCI is ready to protect you in the event of a ground fault. To test a GFCI, simply press the test button on the receptacle. This should cause the receptacle to trip, cutting off power to the circuit. Then press the reset button to restore power. If the GFCI does not trip when you press the test button, or if it trips immediately after you press the reset button, there is a problem with the GFCI and it should be replaced. GFCIs are typically installed in areas where there is a high risk of water exposure, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor outlets. However, they can also be installed in other areas of the home to provide additional protection. When replacing a GFCI receptacle, be sure to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Turn off the power to the circuit breaker panel before starting any work. Use a non-contact voltage tester to verify that the circuit is energized. Connect the wires to the new receptacle in the same order as they were connected to the old receptacle. If you are not sure how to replace a GFCI receptacle, it's best to call a qualified electrician. In addition to testing GFCIs regularly, it's also important to inspect them periodically for any signs of damage. Look for cracks, chips, or burns on the receptacle. Also, check for loose wires or terminals. If you find any damage, replace the receptacle immediately. GFCIs have a limited lifespan and should be replaced every 10 to 15 years or sooner if they show any signs of wear or damage. The cost of replacing a GFCI receptacle is relatively low compared to the potential cost of an electric shock injury. It's a small investment that can provide significant peace of mind. When choosing a GFCI receptacle, look for one that is listed by a reputable testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories or all. This ensures that the receptacle has been tested and meets safety standards. Also, consider the amperage rating of the receptacle. Most GFCI receptacles are rated for 15 amps or 20 amps. Choose a receptacle that is appropriate for the circuit on which it will be installed. If you have any questions about GFCIs, or if you are not sure how to install or test them, consult a qualified electrician. They can provide you with expert advice and ensure that your electrical system is safe and up to code. Ground fault circuit interrupters are a critical component of modern electrical safety. By understanding how they work and testing them regularly, you can protect yourself and your family from the dangers of electric shock. Remember to always exercise caution when working with electricity and to seek professional help when needed. To summarize, if a GFCI trips manually but not with a tester, consider these possibilities: tester sensitivity, receptacle sensitivity, grounding issues, damaged receptacle, reverse neutral and line wires, and a faulty tester. Systematically checking each of these factors will help you identify the cause of the problem and take corrective action.